Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. And I apologize now, my allergies are killing me, so I will probably have to stop repeatedly to sneeze. Like, but I'm like, damn it! Like, I just got home and I want to be able to record stuff, and like, and then I'm like sneezing all day. So I'm getting in my recording kind of early this morning, just because who knows? By this evening, I probably feel like I want to die. So. I'm sorry if I sound stuffed up, and I'm sorry if we pause repeatedly for me to sneeze. And my nose is so itchy and like tickly, like I feel like I want to sneeze, and I'm not really sure what I want to do right now. It's just, oh my god, it's bugging me. Anyway, so we're back with more Hakuoki, and we're in Sanen's route, and we're in chapter 3 somewhere. I think we're at the end of chapter 3. No, we're in the middle. Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of chapter 3. Anyway, I think we're okay to skip everything that we're okay. So, you know. But we did just have. That's true, because that was what we ended with the last part. Is we had the little. What's his name? Showed up to try to kidnap us again. All right, so July 1867. Knowing better than to stay, the Shinsengumi agreed to Nishi Hongwanji's request and transferred their headquarters to Fudodo. Fudodo. Oh, Fushimi? Not to say, I don't know. We had to travel south from the temple at Nishi Hongwanji to reach Fudodo village. Whoa! The first glimpse of our new home surprised me so much that I had to stand there for a few minutes to take it in. Pristine and in working order, the huge compound sat proudly upon a fair-sized piece of land. There had to be so much space inside that even after the rest of the men joined us, there would be room to spare. There was even a watchtower. Now, this was the new place that they built, right? Because did the people who owned the temple were like, look, well, we got land and we'll build you someplace with hot springs and all that stuff to get the fuck out of here. So, right? Because we remember that in Saito's path, right? So, like, I'm just saying. That's what this should be, right? It should be, like, brand new. So, of course it should be nice. It's brand fucking new. They should be like, it's way nicer than this shithole. Get out. They're like, we like our temple, but we're just saying, get the fuck out. It must have been comparable in scale to a daimyo's mansion. Sorry. And the thought left me awestruck. This is our new headquarters? Certainly is. From now on, this is our base of operations. Oh my god. Oh god. Can't do the voices. We already know that I forgot them, but definitely plenty of space. Won't need to tiptoe around any nosy fools either. Should make things easier. The stern look on Hijikata's face appeared to have vanished today. In fact, he looked to be in a pretty good mood. It was funny because I read that the stern look, and I was like, he didn't have a stern look to me. And then I finished reading the sentence. But his upbeat attitude was nothing next to Kondo's. Ah, that's right! You still haven't checked out the inside, have you, Yukimura? No, I haven't. That settles it then! How about I show you around? Huh? But you must be really busy with setting things up. You don't have the time. I wasn't sure it was such a good idea, but his smile was so infectious, and he nearly danced from eagerness. I felt my resistance crumbling. Hijikata's eyes slid to the side to watch his chief. He grinned wryly and shrugged. Just let him take you around. It's not quite a castle, but every man dreams of being the head of a household like this. Kondo's dying to show it off to someone. Okay, I'd be honored to have a tour, Kondo. Great, leave it to me. Look, he's like so excited. Look at my house! Look at my house! It's all of our, but you know, well, whatever, it's yours. Aw, you're like a big kid. Where should we start? The kitchen and the baths are really spacious, and every new house came with a certain sense of anticipation, and this one was no different. So here's, okay, question. Hold on. When I was about to ask a question, I'd sneeze. So, the baths, right? Obviously, it's not going to be a men's bath and a women's bath, because there shouldn't be any women here. So what the fuck do? We wait, no one's around, and we skulk into the bath, and we hope no one fucking shows up? Just hope no one shows up? Anyway. So every new house came with a certain sense of anticipation, and this one was no different. It was with building excitement that I stepped inside after Kondo, my head swiveling from side to side to take everything in. Alright, first things first. I think I should show you where you'll be staying. This is my room? The new mats on the ground filled the room with a fresh scent, and the sunbeams that danced inside brought warmth and a sense of peace. The door design looked slightly fancier, too, as if they wanted to give me a little something extra. What do you think? Do you like it? Of course! I jumped to reassure him, and his smile widened when he realized I approved of their choice. But is all of this okay? I'm not a member, and yet you're letting me have such a grand room. Don't worry about that. We have so much space at headquarters now that every warrior will have plenty of room. And with the formation of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, we even have some vacancies. Oh. For a brief moment, Kondo's happy expression faded into a somber one. I had a feeling that he was thinking about Heisuke and Saito right then. I knew I was. I opened my mouth to say something, but before I could, his face cleared and he continued speaking. Anyway, as I was saying, we have plenty of space here. Nishi Hongwanji was big, but it wasn't a good place for a large number of warriors. Us being there was rough on them, and everyone else involved. But now we're in a situation where we have significantly more freedom. You're right. We'd only been borrowing space at all of the previous locations. Yagi and Nishi Hongwanji, whatever. And had to abide by the wishes of our sponsors. But now, I can only imagine the emotions swirling through Kondo with this new place. Now, where to next? What other rooms are here? Oh, I just remembered. This place has a fantastic training room. That's definitely our next destination. Hold on. Those will certainly make the next few parts go faster if I have to keep pausing for sneezing and allergy sheds. Oh my god. With a grin and a jaunty bounce to his step, he began to walk off when suddenly he came to a halt, calling over his shoulder to me. Oh, would it be alright if we stopped somewhere on the way? Curious, I followed him through the maze of hallways until we reached... Sanan? Oh, why are we going to Okita's room? Whoa! Wrong boyfriend. Wrong game. Well, wrong path in the game. This is Okita's room? The interior looked a lot like mine, but there was something... It was hard to explain, but the room felt like him. Almost as if I could turn around and he'd be right behind me grinning. Yes, though it seems Soji snuck off somewhere. Shouldn't be surprised. I keep telling him to stay put in his room. Ever since Okita fell ill, both Kondo and Hijikata had been keeping a closer eye on him, and often made time to see how he was doing. I realized that was why we had stopped in his room. Kondo was worried and wanted to mask it with a visit. You're a kind man, Kondo. You're always looking out for everyone. Now I'm a little embarrassed, but I admit Soji is a special case for me. I've known him since he was 9 years old, and watched him grow into the man he is today. He's like a brother to me. Aw, he's more like a son. Kondo's really probably not that much older than that, but I just imagine him being the dad of the family. He's like the dad. He's our dad. His voice softened and warmed. A faraway look came to his eyes. His fondness for Okita was obvious to anyone who bothered to pay attention. When he caught me looking at him, a smile on my face, he scratched his cheek and turned slightly red, chuckling. Whoops! If we stand around talking here, we'll never make it through the tour. Let's head to the training room. Okay. We made our way down a few more hallways until Kondo finally slid a large door open. Oh! The new training room was so spacious, 1 or 2 dozen warriors could easily train together with plenty of room to move around. It's so big! I can't believe it! It's amazing, right? The wood floor beneath my feet felt cool. It would have been relaxing if the room hadn't already been full of frenetic energy. Huh, looks like some of the men were impatient to get started. Impressive. Perhaps it was the new location, but a number of the warriors were eager to test the room's capabilities. The air was filled with the sound of bamboo sticks slapping each other and the scuffle and stomp of feet. One person in the crowd noticed us standing near the door. He separated himself from the group and approached. Sanan? Nope. It's his path. I'm expecting him to actually show up at some fucking point. But we get more time with everybody else in this fucking game. I think Gen's shown up more in this fucking game for the poor little old guy who dies every time. Why? Why do you have to die? You're like our grandpa. He's not even that fucking old. He's really not. He's probably like fucking 40. Like, which is grandpa age in this game, okay? Like, everybody died when they were like 20 back in the day. Like, my god, you're 18? You're close to death. Okay, I know it wasn't that bad, but still. It's rare to see the two of you together. Are you getting a tour of our new headquarters? Yes. Good afternoon, Inoue. How goes training? Practicing in a new location feels wonderful. What's even better is the fact we'll be able to train rain or shine now. Oh, that's right. Everyone had to practice outside back at the temple. Suddenly, Inoue flipped his practice stick over and extended the hilt toward Kondo. How about it, Kondo? Go burn off some energy with the men. I'd love to, but I'm showing you Gamora around right now. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about me. I'll wait over here and watch. Really? Okay then. I guess I'll take you up on your offer again. I'll keep it short. Striding into the throng of men, he was quickly surrounded by them as they all exchanged greetings. Before long, the training resumed. The intensity and difficulty exponentially increased now that their chief was among them. You did great, Kondo. You must be tired. Please sit and have some tea. Huh, thank you. I lost track of time back there. He took a seat in the new common room, which was centrally located for easy access by all members. Sorry about that. I should have kept my focus. Then I could have given you a better tour. It's all right. Today is only the first day we're living here. We can look around more at any time we want. No, you only have today, and then you're it. Then you have to know everything, and if you don't know where rooms are, you're fucked. I didn't know where the kitchen was. I'm never allowed to go there. I'm kidding. I'm just making fun. We can do it anytime we want. True. I giggled, and Kondo's lips curled into a smile. For a few moments, he sat quietly, savoring his tea. This is a good thing. This house we have, it's ours. We have a home to welcome everyone back. It's like another one of my dreams has come true. Another? Yes. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to become a samurai and use my blade to serve the emperor. He took a sip of his tea and quietly sighed. Aww! Ah! Oh my god! Is that baby Okita? Oh my god! And I guess that's supposed to be Gen in the background, right? And then, but Hijikata, how fucking old is he? He's like their age, and yet he's like, the rest of them like look like your dad or your grandpa. I know, Gen just looks because he's balding, but like. And I give him the old man voice, even though he's really not that old. But, like, it's just the voice he has. But, like, I'm assuming Hijikata there is supposed to be more, like, younger, closer to teenager, like, maybe early 20s max. But, like, Okita's... Look, he looks pissed off. He's got this, like, angry eyes, like, I'm gonna kick your ass! And you're like, oh, you're so cute. I love it. His face was turned towards me, but his eyes were soft and unfocused, gazing into his memories. Memories of happier times. I didn't know much about the history Kondo and the other Shinsengumi captains shared. Sometimes I'd catch one of the older men talk about the early days, and every time they'd wax nostalgic for the life they used to live. It made me sad that I'd only joined them recently and wasn't able to share in those happy, peaceful memories. I can't get over baby Okita. As a son of a farmer, my childhood was full of people chiding me for picking up a sword. They would always mock me, laughing at my foolishness. But you proved them wrong. You fulfilled your dream of being a warrior, right? The Shinsengumi had done their utmost to do everything in their power to keep the city of Kyoto safe. As their chief, Kondo's efforts had been finally recognized, and he had been granted increased responsibilities by the shogunate. Yes, I suppose that's true in a way. So I wanted to be able to open a path for others like me, who dream the same dream. How? I want the Shinsengumi to be a place where anyone can become a samurai, regardless of their status, as long as they stay true to honoring their lord. Kondo, his feelings on the matter overwhelmed me. The Shinsengumi was the focus of all of his energy. He cared deeply for every member and every warrior who dreamed of the same thing he did. His bright smile faded. However, that's our ultimate goal. It would not be fair to the Shinpachi and Sanosuke. They left that life long ago because they hated it. When his lips twisted up wryly, I couldn't stop myself from speaking. Can I be one too? No, that's where I think we're supposed to say, I'm sure they understand, but I don't know. Hold on, my God. Yeah, I'm sure they understand. I'm sure Nagakura and Harada will understand. Well, I guess it's more like I feel like they will. I had nothing to base my opinion on except gut feeling. Oh my god, my eye itches so goddamn bad. But I wanted to find some way to get him to smile, so I plowed on in hopes that something I said would help. Knowing them, if they'd wanted to quit, they would have done so a long time ago. But the fact that they're still here means that this is what they want to do with their lives. They love the Shinsengumi and respect you. I see. I hope you're right. He thought for a moment, then laughed. It sounded a little relieved. The pressure around my heart eased. Oh god, we're in chapter 4. Holy shit, I thought we were in the middle of chapter 3. We're in the middle of chapter fucking 4. 15 minutes into the episode, finally caught on to that. Like, it's like I'm stupid because, like, my guide is scrolled up so, like, I can't see the chapter title for, like, the choices. But chapter 5 is the next one. So I saw that. So you think I would be able to do math and know that, but... Okay, wow. The hours passed, and soon enough, night came. Oh, wow. I had finished my cleaning and was taking a moment to rest in my room. A brand new headquarters, a new room. Our headquarters had changed and expanded, matching the Shinsengumi's growth itself. But increasing in numbers is not always a good thing. The more people there were under one banner, the less likely all of them would hold the same beliefs and ideals. There'd be differences and conflicting opinions, just like what happened with Ito and his men. But I didn't want the Shinsengumi to change. Kondo's dream sounded wonderful, and I could see it coming true because of the men that had surrounded him. With those thoughts in my head, my first night in the Fudoto headquarters slowly passed. Okay, here we go. Da-na-na. This is where they're gonna go. They're planning to kill. And then he comes back. Ah! Saito, you're not evil! Yay, you still love us! It's amazing! We knew that already, but still, I just have to... Every time. I'm sure I still wanted to help. I wanted to do what I could. It might be my last chance to see Heisuke. Please let me go. I won't get in the way. This isn't like anything you've done before. You understand that, right? We're killing someone who used to be one of us. Much as we don't want to, we might even have to kill Heisuke. I know, it's not something to be taken lightly. And then we can skip it, because we already read all this. I'll do anything! I'll do anything. Well, I'm unsure of what I can ask of you, though. That day, Kondo asked me to visit Dr. Masumoto. Kondo had told me that I could return at whatever hour I wanted, so I took my time getting there, but I had a suspicion that this was their method of watching out for me to avoid my involvement with the assassination, if at all possible. The person who I had accompany me was Sanan. What the fuck? Why it? Okay, we're on his route, but he is never fucking anywhere to be seen. I could understand this if obviously, but like if we were in his route, if we were in Yamazaki's route, I could understand this scene because like we never see him either. But we have had more scenes, I think, with him in it in this fucking route than with Sanan, and I can't. Hold on, I have to blow my nose. But like, oh my god. Literally, and these are all hidden scenes that we've never seen before because of the choices to give us points with Sanan, and yet it's really more like trying not to get points with other people. Like, that's what it is. If you don't get points with anyone else, it's okay. Like, the only people we see less are the 3 guys they kind of added in. Like, legit. Like, oh my god. Oh, I mean, although now that Sanan is a fury, he's able to fight, so there's really no point in him like hanging around at home, which would have been all of our things before. We're like, I'm gonna stay at home and then we can talk to him. But like, we never get to, like, ever. We've seen more of every other person who's not in this fucking route than we have of the person whose route we're in. The fuck? You would never know you were on his route if you were just playing this and choosing random shit. Like, you would never know because you'd be like, no way to get to him. Anyway, I apologize, Yamazaki. I'm sorry that you have to come with me to the doctor's shop. Please do not worry. I understand why the chief asked this of me. No, it's not about that. I just think that if you weren't here, you'd be off doing something way more important. Pay no mind to things like that. Their mission should be going well, regardless of whether I'm with them or not. I see. When Yamazaki and I returned to the compounds, we heard many different voices chatting inside. I wonder what's going on. It seems like everyone has returned. Inside, there was a large commotion going on, and then we heard a familiar voice call out to us. Oh, that's yeah. Spacey! Yamazaki! Is anyone around? I'll be right there. The tone of Nagakura's voice was alarmed, and it gave me a bad feeling. As I stepped into the dojo, which seemed to be the heart of the commotion, I was dumbfounded. Heisuke? Heisuke was sprawled along the floor, covered in his own blood. What happened, Nagakura? They got it. They got to him. Just take a look at Heisuke now. His wounds are too severe. There's nothing I can do here. He needs to see Dr. Masumoto immediately. Time is not a luxury we can afford right now. Carry Toto to the back of the compounds. Wait, what do you mean the back? If the doctor's gonna treat him, it should be right here. Follow with what I'm saying. Toto will be dead before we bring him to Dr. Masumoto's. Is this what you want, Nagakura? Of course not. But what are you gonna do to him in the back? I, too, have no intention of letting him die. Sonnet, don't tell me you're gonna make him drink the water of life. That decision is not mine to make. I'm going to leave it for Toto to decide. Fuck that! What are you, a demon? At this point, Nagakura was screaming furiously at Sanin, going so far as to point his sword at him. I am no demon, but I am a fury. If you aim to kill me, be sure to go for my heart, or behead me. You guys, now's not the time for this. Toto will die at this rate. I know that! Then, I'm going to be the one to make the final call. Is that clear? Nagakura sheathed his sword as if silently resigning to Sanin's suggestion. He dies or he becomes a fury, which is sort of like a death, but it's like a half-death, so. All the way dead or half-dead? Pick. Damn it! Nagakura left us with this last outburst and he stormed off. Watching that, I remain here with Heisuke. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Nagakura's path we run after him. Because that would seem logical, right? I stayed behind and I timidly looked towards Sanin. Sanin looked back at me and we locked eyes for a moment. For a minute, sorry. Oh, look, we finally get to see you in the path. 4 fucking chapters and barely talking to you. But like, do you think me a demon as well? It is fine. Think of me as you will. However, I find it equally egregious for us to let him die willingly when there are other solutions to which we can look. Well, I couldn't find the words. What would my doctor of a father have done? My wish is for Toto to live. If you share this desire, then stay out of my way. I'm thinking we leave him in your hands. Stop, Sanin. That would be like, no, okay. Bad points. No points with that one. Yeah, I leave him in your hands. Understood. Please take care of Heisuke. Thank you, Yukimura. Leave the rest to me. Toto certainly would not want you to see him in pain. Before Sanin could go, I stood up and I ran back to my room. The attack on the watch, as well as the assassination of Ito, later became known objectively as the Aburano Koji incident. And we've already read all this stuff, so okay. Well, that skips through. We're going to have a sneeze break. One more choice to make in chapter 4, and then we're in chapter 5. So I doubt we're going to get like 5 parts out of Sanin's route, which disappoints me. I mean, you never know. Might be a short 5th part. I don't know. I was making my way to the area of the compound the Fury Core was restricted to, determined to speak with Sanin. I just really needed to talk to him about that night. Sanin, I spotted him alone in the hallway and called out to catch his attention. Yukimura, what are you doing here? My appearance seemed to have flustered him. My appearance seemed to have flustered him. Toward me quickly. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like he came toward me quickly, eyes scanning in every direction. You didn't forget you were recently attacked by Furies, did you? I'm pretty sure that happened like 2 fucking years ago. Like, that's my only problem. Like, we jump through so many years and you're like, okay, I get it. Like, you know, but it's weird because it feels disjointed. But then at the same time, they say things like that. You didn't forget you were recently. I'm pretty sure that was like a year ago. Like, if we went back time-wise, it's like over a fucking year ago. So it's not really recent. At this point, it's like old news. Like 10 years later. I recently had trauma. It was 10 years ago. Okay, you need to get over it now. Get some therapy. Like, you don't have to get over it. You just gotta get therapy. Like, seriously. Should have diminished at this point. But, like, I was recently attacked by Furies. A year ago. It's not really recent. Your timeline is off. But that's what I feel like in this game. Like, the timeline is so... Well, first of all, obviously we know when we go through and it's like December, and then it's January, and then it's December again, and you're like, wow. But it's things like this. Like, you forget that it skips over 4 years because you have sentences like this, and it feels like it was like a month ago. Anyway. I'm surprised no one informed you that you shouldn't come here unattended. I'm sorry, but I really needed to speak with you. I really wanted to speak with you because you're my precious. He must have caught something from the tone of my voice because he paused and thought for a moment. The words, when they came, were slow and deliberate. Yukimura, I'm sorry, but I cannot converse with you here. A few are currently in an unstable state at the moment, and there's much work to be done. Sorry. Sneeze. Came on fast. You're right. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Of course he would be busy. I felt horrible for not realizing it before coming. I bowed to excuse myself. With a strange laugh, he leaned in and whispered, Oh, he leaned in. Oh! I'll come see you later, baby. What? Just, he leaned in and whispered, Oh. It's getting hot in here. I'll stop by your room later. We can discuss things in detail there. Oh, discuss things in detail. There's a lot of air quotes. Like, speechless, I can only nod. I returned to my room. After an indeterminate time, as if hours had passed when it likely wasn't very long, I heard a soft voice outside of my door. We settled inside my room and Sana began to speak. I like how they have the door opening and closing sound. It's great. I assume you wish to ask about Okita and Toto, correct? Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not allowing anyone to see them until they stabilize. So wait, did Okita... Oh, well, actually, yes. Okita at some point took... So Okita at this point must have taken it. But see, this is the weird thing. Did he take it, and then would we have got... We didn't get... So the only reason we knew he took the Water of Life is because we went in his path. But it was never mentioned in any other... Like... It was never really mentioned in any other path that he took it. They kind of just left, like, you didn't know. They never said he did or didn't. You know what I mean? Like, they just never said anything. So you just assumed, okay, he was away because he was ill. But this is weird. So now he's like, I'm not allowing him to see them. But then again, at the same point, you could also read this as like, oh, because Okita's sick. But at the same time, why would Sana be taking care of him? He's not a fucking doctor. Like, you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I mean, we know, but it would seem weird if you didn't, if you hadn't played Okita's part before this, so. I know that everyone said there isn't, like, a set order, but I'm really wondering if there is kind of a better order where it makes a little bit more sense when you play certain routes certain ways, you know? Because there's a lot of different scenes that you don't get. Like, if we played this route first, it would seem a little weird, like, okay, he's taking care of it, I guess because he's sick? And then we'd play Okita's route and be like, oh, that's what he meant. Not that it matters, but anyway. His voice was matter-of-fact, and his expression broke no argument. The process of becoming a Fury includes a period of rejection by the body. But see, now he's talking about this, so it's like, I don't know. No one would want to be seen in such a state. I understand. I mean, and maybe there was a line a throwaway line like in there that we technically already read that we skipped through, but I just don't remember that in any other path. So, I know you're likely feeling conflicted, but you must remember, regardless of how it occurred, they themselves chose to take the water of life. His tone had lost its flatness. Now it was almost as if he was trying to convince me. See, this would be so confusing if we hadn't gone down Okita's path, because I don't remember them ever saying anything about him being a Fury until we went down his path. Maybe I just missed it, or I just don't remember. I don't know. Toto reached for it because he sustained a mortal wound. His desire to live was such that he made his choice. We've known each other for a very long time, so I'm glad he survived, but I have a feeling he will come to question whether his decision was the correct one. His brow wrinkled and his eyes lowered. I could see clear concern for Heisuke on his face. He was truly worried about him. Sonnen blinked as if just remembering I was there, and then rushed to reassure me. The progress is going well. There's no need to worry. Okay. The words were kind, though the tone was cold and clinical. It was as if he was building a wall between us, pushing me away. He would have never done anything like that before. His demeanor seemed colder now, crueler. Some fate. I thought I'd be enough if I turned into a Fury. Huh? The self-derision and pain that surfaced in his laugh tore at my heart. His voice lowered to a mumble. I made sure I was prepared for everything before I chose to take this path. I had no fear of myself changing. However, I'd wished that they would never have to go through this. Sonnen. His head turned away, hiding his face, but not before I saw a myriad of conflicting emotions, like anger, even sadness, appear. After a moment, Sonnen squared his shoulders and brought his head up. But it is too late now. They are Furies. Most of the Fury Corps was wiped out by the recent attack. This new blood, so to speak, is important. Yes, so maybe that's what he meant recently. But we weren't really attacked by the Furies. We were attacked by demons, and then the Furies went after the demon, and then they had the fight, and yeah. So, I don't know. He will soon learn that I will not treat him as living warriors while under my command, but as a Fury. The smile he gave me was pleasant enough, if not for the edge that was just a little off. Hate me if you wish. What I'm doing is inhumane. The cruel twist to his words made me sad. I will leave him to you. Huh. I won't hate you. I would think I won't hate you would be better, but... I turned to Sonnen and bowed. I spoke from my heart. I'll leave him in your hands. You became a Fury first. When their suffering begins, I'm sure you're the only person they can rely on. So... Sonnen gave a troubled sigh. You're quite the odd one. Even after all of this, you still trust me. But I knew that he was still the same inside. He hadn't changed at all. Seeing him use the powers of the Fury so often and relying on them so heavily made me frightened. But I hadn't forgotten who he really was. The words I wanted to say to tell him that wouldn't come out Wait, what? Sneeze. The words I wanted to say to tell him that wouldn't come out regardless of how hard I tried. Oh my god. They let Tim type that shit. Anyway. Sonnen didn't notice and continued speaking. Because you're concerned, I'll do what I can. I promise I shall look after him and guide him in his transition into Fury. Sonnen, thank you very much. But see, so... He mentioned Okita, blah, 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 but then he talks about Heisuke and him and blah, blah, blah. Never says anything about Okita, so it's kind of like... I guess they leave that if you haven't been in Okita's path, it doesn't ruin it. You're just like, wait, is Okita Fury or is he... Like, I don't understand. And then you get to Okita's path and you're like, oh! I don't know. All the strain was gone from Sonnen's face. Our agreement seemed to bring him peace. Well, it is time to wish you a good night, Yukimura. I apologize for keeping you up at such a late hour. No, I kind of asked for it. Sonnen... He turned to leave, but paused at the threshold when I called out to him. He glanced back at me. I love you? It's been very cold lately. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Have you been sleeping well? I know a lot of things are going on right now, so you might not be resting. Um, well, he raised an eyebrow. Your face has been kind of frightening lately, and every time I saw him, it looked like he was silently suffering, and I couldn't help but feel anxious for him. Sighing, he padded over to me. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Somebody shook some shit. Banged a door or like, I don't know. Anyway, sighing, he patted over to me, closing the distance between us so much that the fabric of his sleeve brushed my arm. Oh, hi. CG? Oh. Oh, dear God. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Face is like, you're crazy. It's a crazy face. He said hold on as I was muting my microphone, so like I don't think you heard that. Here's me, mutes. Hold on a second. Oh wait, I had to blow my nose, I'm sorry. Again, we know this, so if I'm just really quiet over the, either that or I'm staring. I've already kind of seen this one because this is like the chapter header or the section header for the guide. Plus they also show this one in the opening credits, which I watch every time I load the game, so. Anyway. Sonnen? His eyes caught and held mine. He leaned down so we were the same height, his face filling my vision. More romance than we got in Saito's bath, and he's not even going to kiss us. Because, you know, it's only in chapter 4, we still got a year left. The look in his eyes was soft. Most people are only concerned with themselves in a time like this, but you give yourself to those in need. I'm an adult. It would be my own fault if I fell ill. My well-being is my own responsibility. Hey, I'm almost an adult. I'm probably like 17 at this point, right? Yeah, figure. That may be true, but that doesn't mean I'm not still worried about you. I clenched my fist, raised my chin, and stared. He was trying to pacify me, but I wouldn't let him. His face grew more troubled, and a sigh spilled from his lips. Sometimes I find myself concerned about your kindness, Yukimura. I am fine. Please don't worry. The tone of his voice indicated that he'd said the final word. It was pointless to argue anymore. Okay? I don't know if they're fixing something outside, but there's a lot of banging. Reluctantly, I nodded, and he stepped back, breaking off our eye contact. He smiled mysteriously and chuckled under his breath. You managed to get me to be kind tonight. What does that mean? His chuckle bubbled up into a full laugh. His words, when he spoke, were deliberately evasive. If I start feeling sympathy for others, it will cause all kinds of problems. But he used to feel sympathy for others. You used to be such a nice, sweet person, and now you're like fighting the evil. You're like the soft, nice glasses character, but then you're now, because you came in Fury, you're like the asshole character, and like it's like fighting within you. You're like two glasses characters at once. It's just so confusing. I love it. Anyway, good night again. Sweet dreams. Oh, it's nice of you. Oh, he swiftly walked off before I could stop him. Swiftly walked off before I could stop him. Learn to read, Spacey. I don't know what to think. I hadn't spent enough time with him to accurately see his true face behind the slippery words he liked to use. But I think I can trust him. It's been like 3 fucking years, girl. Some of the things he said and did frightened me more than I wanted to admit, but he was a good, kind person at heart. I wanted to believe that, so I decided to hold on to my faith in him and not doubt the course of action he chose to follow. I should have been thinking about what dangers the future held in store for us, but instead I felt calm. And they're like mowing the lawn in the back, in case you can hear that. Okay, we're gonna skip all this. Oh, of course we don't know what the year it is. It's December. Okay, I just saw December. I know. We should have actually read this part where he gets all touchy, but we know. I remember that part vividly. We'll stay here. I'll stay here. Nothing. I'm sorry for stopping you. And now we're gonna hit chapter 5. And this is only like, what, the 3rd part? So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Now we're in Sonnen's chapter. There he is, covered in blood. Why are they always covered in blood? Why is he always covered in blood? Oh, okay, so. Oh, this is all the same. Nerd! You've earned a trophy. Nerd. Yamazaki and I had taken turns caring for Kondo, who was in critical condition from a gunshot wound. This took some time. According to Yamazaki, this was the only duty we could do from the compounds. I'd left for the outside, which was chilly in the winter air, to get some cold well water. From a distance, I'd overheard two familiar voices, so I stepped behind a tree to listen. It was Sanan and Okita, the latter of whom was worsening in his ill condition. But see, okay, so I'm gonna guess then. That's really weird. So then, okay, so like Heisuke always becomes a fury. Sanan always becomes a fury. This really drives me bonkers. I really want to kind of like see what's going on out there. I wonder if my headset will like reach to the. No, damn it! I'm so curious as to what's going on out there. But like, so Heisuke always becomes a fury, right? Sanan always becomes a fury. Okita maybe becomes one. So I'm guessing he didn't become one then, because it never made it seem like he did. But then now this is basically acting like he didn't. And then I'm trying to think other paths when he just like goes back and goes away. It's like, well, why would he not stay to fight if he was a fury and not just sick? So yeah, so it's like he only becomes a fury in when we go down his path because our brother turns him into one. There's so many fucking loopholes. But I guess it's just because like each path is slightly different. But it changes everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like if we have feelings for Okita, then our crazy brother comes and basically poisons him, ha 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 ha, to get back at us. But we never see, I can't remember his fucking name, but we never see him any other time aside from like, oh, in passing when he's dressed like a girl and that's it. It's really weird. Weird. Anyway. Oh, see, so he hasn't taken it. Okay. So it was really weird though when Sanan's like, oh, him and Okita, so he must be taking care of Okita because Okita's sick. Like, so like, why is Sanan's job babysitting Okita? Like, I feel, your job is watching over Okita who's sick. Like, you're the only person who's close enough to being doctory, I guess. I don't know. Yo, Sanan. So, can the water of life cure diseases like it can heal wounds? Injuries can be healed by the water of life, certainly, but we've not performed research on anyone who's contracted an illness. If you're interested in trying it for yourself, then I will not stop you. Well, my body has any chance of getting better, and I'll take it so I can avenge Kondo faster. So, I don't mind. Upon hearing Okita's idea, I couldn't help but jump out. I imagine just jumping out from behind a tree. Wait a minute! Wait! You don't know for sure that you'll get better, so you can't take it! In response to my sudden appearance, Okita had sneered down at me coldly, of course. So, you're gonna tell me what I can or can't do, despite the fact that it could make me better? Well, Sanan just said that he's never tried it on anyone with your condition, so why... Yes, I said so, but I acknowledge that Okita is free to pursue what he feels is best for himself. Sanan's tone came off as an attempt to undermine my interpretation, rather than clarify his own. Are you okay with that, Okita? Of course. What do you know about this? Why not sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? Where it don't belong. Doesn't. Grammar. I wasn't trying to get in his way. On the contrary, I actually agree with the sentiment of avenging Kondo as soon as possible, but it was so difficult for me to sit idly on the side as he drinks the water of life. I mean, there's no telling if it'll even help his condition. Or worse, As I was about to defend how I felt, another voice emerged from behind to weigh in.
Oh, Soji, is it okay for you to be up so late?
It was Inoue. Yeah, had trouble sleeping.
Ah, I see. You'll begin to worry Toshi if you stay up. It's best for you to head back to your room soon.
Oh. Guess I'll do that then. Night, everyone. It seemed as though Okita felt more reserved when Inoue was around him. As he returned to his room, he sauntered away, caught up in his dejected malaise. When Okita was out of sight, Inoue lowered his voice and mumbled in a concerned tone.
Sonin, I heard some shouting. Did something happen?
No, there's nothing for you to be concerned over.
Ah, that's a relief to hear. I mean, what with all that happened to Isami, I'm positive that Soji is just a little on edge because of it, so please, do not provoke him too much.
Inoue held the interest of Okita close to his heart, and Sana nodded in agreement. You're right. I understand. A mutual understanding was reached between the two with Sanen's peaceful answer, and Inoue smiled at the two of us in front of him. Hold on. Sorry.
Yukimura, pardon this request, but would you kindly look after Isami for a while? It would make me far more comfortable if someone with medical experience were to watch over him.
Of course. I'll go as soon as I get some water.
Sounds good. I shall wait there for you.
Inoue then bowed slowly to Sanen and me, and we saw him off with a smile on our faces. Well, I wouldn't maybe call it a smile, but rather a smile through grated teeth. Considering moments prior to Inoue's arrival, we were fighting. It looked like Sanen had picked up on the same cue. But what could be going through Sanen's mind? Don't question me! To go so far as to suggest Okita drink the water of life. I contemplated speaking up to ask Sanen about it, but he beat me to the punch. You looked as though you had something to say earlier. Mind letting me know what it was? Earlier? Was it referring to what I wanted to tell Okita? I wanted to say... hold on. We have to choose the right answer! It's chapter 5, it's important, guys. Do you really believe that it'll get better? I wanted to ask Okita if he really believed if the serum would treat his illness. I mean, I could ask the same thing to you, Sanen. Would it really help his sickness? We know it does. It just takes longer. I already made it clear. It is untested. Then why would you make the offer to Okita at all, then? If he's led to believe it'll cure him, then of course he'll try and drink it. One can never know for certain. I pressed him for an answer, but Sanen remained stoic and kept his voice low. Sanen, you of all people should know how it feels to drink it without knowing what you're really getting yourself into. He should know more than anyone how Okita feels. He... should. Sanen was desperate to be his old self again, so he tested fate, and because of it he was able to use his sword again. So maybe he had the same hopes for Okita? I took a deep breath as these thoughts twirled frantically in my mind. Sanen, did you offer the serum to Okita because you knew how he must be feeling? You knew his struggle, and you're projecting onto him because you know how it feels when you can't fight. If that's the case, then I don't think Okita should drink the serum. But I'd rather Okita know what you're thinking when you want him to drink it. I want him to know what was coming out of my mouth. I want Okita to know why Sanen sympathizes with him, yet still not drink it? I felt so hypocritical, almost cruel. This realization came to me as I said it. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying. Getting all of this off my chest was a good feeling, save for not being able to articulate it well. But Sanen seemed to connect with the heart of what I wanted to say. Oh. Right. Perhaps I am projecting onto Okita a little, and it is showing. A position in which your only choice is to grasp at whatever faint glimmer of hope shows itself to you. If this were the case, then yes, I suppose that is why I may have recommended it to him. Maybe you understand where I'm coming from. Then, Sanen appeared lost in his own ruminations, mumbling to himself as if he'd come to a solution. The captains of the Shinsengumi, it seems, are collectively reaching a crossroads. Huh? A crossroads, or rather, they're determining where their futures shall take them. A melancholy dripped from Sanen's frail voice as he turned away and began to pace. I wanted to weigh in with my perspective, but I stopped myself. I decided to head toward Kondo's room, where Yamazaki and Inoue had been waiting. Kondo's gunshot wound was on his right shoulder. The bullet pierced clean through him, shattering the bone, which required more treatment than I could have given him at the compounds. I was sweeping up the common room when... Oh, Yukimura, are you still awake at this hour? Oh, Sanen, did you have any business here? If you're going to use this room, I'll leave. Oh, I don't mind. Rather, I think it's better that you're here for it. Huh? His words perplexed me, so I felt a little anxious. Just then, Okita. Oh my god, don't turn all of our boys into demons. The most prominent Shinsengumi captains began filing into the common room. What were they about to discuss? My anxiety was starting to grow stronger. Mine too. Seems like everyone's here. I don't see Okita. He doesn't need to hear this. If Soji gets involved, he wouldn't think twice about his safety, and he'll go straight for vengeance for Kondo. But if that is what he desires, why wouldn't you let him do so? As usual, you're too kind, Hijikata. No, he's sick. He's kind of useless. But Hijikata's not going to say it. He's ill? You mean he's useless? Yeah, kinda. So, what do you want from us? There's no telling when war will finally erupt, and for us to gather here right now, don't tell me... It is exactly as you're thinking. I asked you all to gather here today with the intention of giving something to you. Oh, that's right, he gives everyone the water of life and lets them decide, and then Saito takes it. I forgot about... Oh, no! They're all gonna fucking take it. Hold on a second. Every route we go down, they'll all turn into fucking furies. Which, you know, I mean, we're a demon, so, like, I guess that's okay. But I'm kind of curious, because I can't remember, did they mention if Saito became a fury in the other routes where it's not his path? Because I don't think they say whether he does or doesn't. Like, again, Sanan and Heisuke are the only two that every single time turn into them, right? Yeah. Interesting. In his hands was an object wrapped in a fine cloth that he slowly unwrapped before all of us. As I saw what was inside of his hands, I gasped and clasped my hands over my mouth. The water of life? Exactly. As captains of the Shinsengumi, we all took on the risks of researching the serum. As such, it's necessary for us to take responsibility for this experiment. Especially if, like Hondo, any one of you becomes injured or maimed to the point you cannot fight. Or in the worst case, there's a possibility that your life is gravely threatened. I know for certain that the serum will be of use to you. Sonnen, are you trying to experiment on us too now? I know what you're thinking, but under the current circumstances, we cannot afford to lose any more captains. Screw that! I don't want to depend on that crap just to survive. Nagakura barked his indignation to Sonnen's proposal, and he stormed off.
Perhaps we can call it a good luck charm. Personally, I pray that it shall never come to any of us drinking the serum.
Inoue spoke softly as his fingers pinched the vial and held it close to his eyes. I will borrow this. Well, I don't think I'll ever use it, but I'll hold on to it, just in case, of course. Both Saito and Harada grabbed a vial, and they slipped it into their respective pockets. Hijikata? Up until now, Hijikata had crossed his arms and silently observed Sonnen's speech. We gotta take responsibility, huh? Well, you're onto something. His eyes looked troubled, but he reached for the serum and slipped it into his pocket as well. Well, I believe that does it for tonight. I just pray that my courtesy will not go to waste. After Sonnen had finished, the captains all bowed and left the room, and Sonnen turned towards me. Yukimura, I am certain you're aware of this, but do not let word of tonight get out to any other warrior. Do I make myself clear? Timidly, I nodded my head, and Sonnen waited for a second before nodding silently and leaving the room. What could I do? The serum created by my father was now in the hands of the captains. I shuddered at the thought of them drinking it. Okay, so this is like a lot of normal stuff, and then we're gonna fight, and then like we're skipping through the stuff that we've already read, but which probably isn't as much. I mean, obviously the stuff in the beginning is kind of similar in chapter 5, but December 1868, even though this says January, it's probably still December. But it's not 1868. So. Oh wow, this one's actually right. The date was January 3rd, 1868. The Shogunate armies and the Satsuma Choshu armies met at Toba Fushimi to fight in war. Fushimi! The Shogunate army was over 15,000 strong, while the Satsuma Choshu only had 5,000 men, but we still lose. With a clear advantage in numbers, the Shogunate army was able to make quick work of the enemies in Toba, then thinking they could win in Kyoto too. The Shinsengumi should have been there beside them as well. However, despite the early victory in Toba, The battles became increasingly frustrating for the shogunate, eventually reaching a stalemate. Sorry. What the shogunate hadn't accounted for was the advanced weaponry of their enemies. Their artillery made close combat nearly impossible. Even with the numbers, the constant gunfire and cannon fire subdued the shogunate men handily. Although the shogunate and Shinsengumi men had guns as well, the range and accuracy of this newfound technology was too much for them. What ended up happening was the Shinsengumi was resigned to use the same attack formations with swords and spears that they had most experience in. Saito, Harada, and Nagakura all led their men from the front lines, but all that came from their battles were casualties. However, there was one troop amongst them that suffered no casualties, winning each battle, the Furies. It was the Fury Corps, led by Sanan and Heisuke. The Fury Corps acted at night, and they were protected under the jurisdiction of the Fushimi Magistrate, leading night raids in enemy territory. And, enemies are like, cool, we're gonna go to sleep, and then you just slaughter them while they're sleeping. I just kind of feel like that's a little wrong, but, there were no rules of engagement at this point, probably. It's just like, it's war, it's what it is. Only modern men decided that, okay, wait, whoa. That is not in the rule book on how we fight battles to the death and risk people's lives, which I just think is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I have to blow my nose. Hold on. I know we're on their side, because they're boys, but it's still like, that's shady, man. You're like, ha ha ha, while they're sleeping, we'll stab them all. It's cold. Anyway. More often than not, the Fury Corps would return covered in the blood of their enemies. Tonight was no different. I'm home. Welcome back, Heisuke. You're back really early for today. Yeah, about that. Some stuff happened. Heisuke seemed uninterested in talking about it, so he attempted to change the subject. So, was it bad? Well, telling you won't do much good. I guess this is what war is all about. He sighed, slouching his shoulders and hanging his head low. It didn't seem like Heisuke to be so sulky, but it seems like everyone is entitled to days like these. I mean, I guess I can hear you out at least. Do you want to try and talk about it? It may make you feel better. At first he was reluctant to entertain my suggestion. Then he began to open up. Well, Sonet's kind of a hard ass. Or rather, maybe he's kind of taken it too far. We're Fury, so it's super easy for us to just charge through soldiers into enemy territory. Technically, all we gotta do is break their cannons or guns, and then we'll light them up so they can't be used anymore. I thought that'd be enough, but then Sonnen started barking at us to kill all these people. Well, I'm not saying I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like, we broke all their guns, and then you still have these people that it's war. It's not pretty. Anyway. He also started telling us to kill anyone in the area who was armed. Those could be innocent people, though. I couldn't really stomach it, so I kind of skipped out early. When Heisuke had finished recounting the battle, he let out a sigh as he rubbed his temples. Sorry, talking about it is going to make me think about it even more. I'm going to call it a day. Heisuke... He forced a smile as he said goodbye, and he walked past me without a second look. If Heisuke were the one to think it was all too much, then I believe him. But I wonder what would compel Sanan to do such a thing, Bloodlust. I wondered to myself if I should let Hijikata know what Sanan had told me. What Heisuke had told you. I mean, I was sure, though, that Hijikata was up to date on whatever the Fury Corps was up to. Actually, was it possible that these orders were coming right from Hijikata himself? Or perhaps from the Shogunate? It is a war we're fighting, so I wanted to give Sanan the benefit of the doubt. Also, Sanan surely had his own reasons, even if it weren't coming from someone else. All I could wish was for everyone to be safe. Just then... Who's there? Oh, good lord. Just then would have been a good time to stop. Just then! Ha ha ha! Screw you guys. I'm sorry. No, but Oh, it's you, Yukimura. Why are you awake at this hour? Are you having trouble getting to bed? Oh! The shock of seeing him gave me a loss for words, as he suddenly appeared in front of me. The white fabric of his uniform was coated in a dried, bloody mess, congealed and covering him even up to his mouth. It's funny that he's got blood around his eyes under his glasses, but not over his glasses. Like, I really hope that's supposed to look like it's blood, but it looks like it's behind it. I'm hoping it's blood splatter on his glasses, because, like, that's not how it works. Wouldn't go through. Oh, I was just thinking about things, and I guess I lost track of time. It's practically dawn. You should be getting as much rest as you can. We Furies will be turning in for the night soon as well. It was so bizarre that Sonnen could carry on a normal conversation despite his horrific appearance. Other warriors returning from the battlefield this afternoon had nowhere near the amount of blood on them. And upon seeing Sonnen, I couldn't shake Heisuke's story. So I spoke up out. Okay. In dire need of answers. Sonnen, what's with all the blood? Oh, this? I didn't even notice. It looks like normal blood splatter to me. Toto disappeared tonight, so perhaps it was because I had to pick up his slack. Sonnen's reply was nonchalant, as if the amount of blood on him was nothing out of the ordinary. But I wanted to know what was really going on. So I reproached him. We're supposed to ask for a reason. Reproached him. Ooh, that unlocks the remaining CG that we didn't get. Ooh. We ask in the bad ending, which would be he probably kills us, so. I heard from Heisuke that you're murdering people. A lot of people, Sonnen. That's why you're all covered in blood, right? But you did so because you had a good reason behind it, right? Sonnen chuckled in response, and after wiping his mouth, he began to answer. I cannot wait for the bad ending now. Oh, that evil grin! I love that we got the magic point, the love points, and he looks so evil. It sounds like I worried you. I believe you've heard the reports of how our soldiers have performed during the day, yes? How our men can't seem to break through enemy lines? Well, the only group capable of doing so with regularity is ours, the Fury Corps. At long last, our powers are finally required. This is a tremendous opportunity for us to showcase what makes us so special. There's truly nothing better than this. So we remain true to our cause. Perhaps a tad more than necessary. One can never be too careful. The calmness in Sonnen's answer made him seem so rational that it almost justified his methods. If a warrior had the capacity to fight with more strength and power on the battlefield, then it's only natural to take advantage of it. But even then, knowing the loaded situation with the Furies, I still couldn't shake the bad feelings. Sonnen, are you really feeling all right? Yes, I feel great. What I'd really wanted to ask was, don't you think it's a little strange for you to be covered in so much blood? But I couldn't get myself to ask him that. If that's all, then I shall be on my way. Sonnen smiled politely and he walked off briskly. All I could do was watch as he left silently. I truly want to believe that Sonnen was acting with the best of intentions out of pride, but I knew there was a chance Sonnen was simply murdering out of animalistic impulse. I just couldn't really convince myself otherwise. For whatever it was worth, though, I hated myself for looking at Sonnen this way. This is war. There might have been nothing else that Sonnen could do to justify his methods, let alone his existence. I suppose that I was beginning to realize what it really meant to be part of the Shinsengumi, or at least, that's what I'd hoped. Shaking the anxiety away was proving difficult. If Sonnen's murderous tendencies were the side effect of becoming a Fury, what if he couldn't really subdue the feelings from the blood lost after all? What if, in fact, he were being driven by it instead of overcoming it like he told us he did? The burden of these possibilities started eating away at me. As morning came, I'd awoken with the same stress. Okay, perfect timing. I'm like, oh my god! Okay. With the dawn came the sun. With the sun came the sounds of cannon fire. That'll be what we do in the next part. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.